It was Luther Acre's job. It was a pretty big job. We did a community room, chapel, and I was one of the guys that helped out with the main corridor hallway area, putting the trim up for the theater room, the outside of the theater room, the outside of the shops, and along that area, and also the entrance to the chapel.
My role in that project was I was the lead person in charge, and to make the pieces work. It was a custom fit corridor. There was a lot of challenges with the layout and with the construction of the jambs.
Like all the door frames and the windows we built from scratch. Had to build a wood curbing, and there was like 4 windows and doors that were all framed from scratch, and we actually got the chisel the hinges in the doors, and they came out just slab doors, and making all the detail and on the time allowed to do it was the most challenging, usually is the most challenging.
The clients were very happy. I'm pretty sure that's Benchmark's main goal, is to have the clients happy, and the residents that were there, at first they were a little leery against it, but once the project was finished, it was like a new home for them.
Yeah, me and Bob Brown were responsible for installing all the trim and wainscot paneling and casework in the pub.
Yeah, I trimmed several window units out of the pine and out of the casing, and went around the bar with all the wainscoting and the bar itself with wainscoting.
Yes, there was a lot of challenges. From my behalf, as far as being the lead man, there was a lot of challenges to overcome. For instance, there was a water main that ran under the parking lot, which ran into the building of the new construction part of the building, which ended up in the middle of the pub. So that had to be relocated. It was about 10 foot deep below ground. Had to be relocated and moved to another area. So in the pub, there's actually an area where you put a long pipe down and turn the valve, and it changes the flow of water.
This project in general was a carpenter's dream. Everything that a carpenter would look forward to doing.
Getting to work in the pub, you knew that people would gather there, and actually they'd be admiring your woodwork, so that's kind of the most rewarding thing for me, is knowing I had a part in creating something that other people would get enjoyment out of.
The clients were very happy. It's always gratifying when they come up and say thank you for doing a great job, and that's our main goal, is to, please the customer, please the residents, and that's the satisfaction I get out of it.
Kirkwood Place was a retirement home with a parking garage underneath it, and there's a 4-story retirement home on top of it.
Yeah, I think the total yardage of the job, and this could be within 100 yards or so, was approximately just the foundations and everything else. I think it was around 2,700. So, perspective, it was fairly decent sized job. It was 190 some feet wide, I think, and almost 300 feet long, with an L that went out another 120 by 76. So it was an L-shaped foundation, parking garage.
We started out in bad weather, but then we did have, as far as cold weather, we were tenting the first week, and then we did get a milder winter last winter. So we didn't have to tent in, we did have to heat some, and just tarp the walls.
Just the feeling of accomplishment that it's done, now the building can start. Basically, that's one of our favorite fortes, Mike Murphy and myself, so that's what we like to do. So it's really what we think is the most important part of the building, is the footprint.
Well, I think the most rewarding part of it was done in the winter.